Eric Keller here with Enthusiast Auto Group, and I'm walking to the lodge here at Legends of the Autobahn, and I comment through a window, say, "Hey, nice car," and it turns out to be this guy, Matt Russell, who we've been friends shortly, but now quickly.
Yeah. And you're not telling the whole story, because I'm sitting in my car. He updrives a Sportivo E30 M3. I'm like, nice car to you too.
So we figured, why not do a little Q&A and show our fellow enthusiasts what this guy's been up to, both past, present, and future.
Thanks.
And this guy is, he's part of BMW's history at this point. I mean, you are.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you are. I mean, BMW M-Brand Director.
You know what? I was lucky to be at several really good moments in history, product history, and that's that's the beauty at BMW. We could tell ourselves every single day that the cars are the stars. And if you're a car person, there's no better brand in the world that I can think of, because it's a car that you can live with every day, and it can do the things that we all know that things like a Sportivo can do.
True.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. And so I was lucky to be there the whole time. I was there for about 15 years.
Wow.
Before this latest endeavor, yeah. And,
I didn't know it was that long.
Yeah. Well, right out of school, and I lived in New Jersey for almost 20 years, so I was really committed.
And your first BMW was a?
I had an E21, a 320i. Yeah, my dad picked it out for me. Bought it from an attorney that lived in our town. It was, at the time, it was about 10 or 11 years old, and kind of dates myself there. It was an 80 model. Yeah, first year with a 5-speed and dual mirrors, the plastic mirrors, and the fuel injection.
And now you have a. This is what guy I was talking about.
Yeah, well, I guess I got two E30s, two E36s. I sold the motorcycle when I had a son. But what else? And I got a 93 M5. We were talking about that.
Yeah. Well, and I sent him an email a month ago.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's got an M3 lightweight. And I love M3 lightweights.
Right.
I did
Famously,
a video.
you do.
Yeah, I did a video on M3 lightweights a bit ago, and I'm like, "Hey, Matt," and so he's like, "Hey, Eric," and he calls me up as I'm shooting the video.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, I'll take this call," and so we talked for what?
Yeah.
45 minutes?
I talked your ear off. It was fun. I've been looking forward to catching up with you guys at EAG for a long time.
Yeah. So we caught up on everything from his lightweight and his story and the chapter that he's added to the car, and it's a driver's car that's a fantastic example that's got a really great history that he's still loving to drive.
Yeah.
And not ready to pass the torch.
No, it could be a keeper.
Yeah, well, they should be. It is.
It should be somebody's keeper.
Well, and when it isn't, when you want to put up for adoption, we will help make that adoption process.
I hear you know people. Couple. But no hurry on that.
Yeah.
A lot of driving to do. Don't take my car away too soon.
Well, when you're ready, we will be there to make it easy and smooth. But the one thing I really wanted to share with other enthusiasts, Matt is the guy that came up with the Lime Rock M3, the E92 Lime Rock series, the edition, the special, the final iteration of the E92.
Lime Rock Park edition,
yeah.
Well, it was a team effort. It really was. I can't say I named the car. I have a joke going on with the BMW Car Club about naming the cars. There was a famous presentation, internally famous, at the club that I gave. Somebody was challenging me on the name change from 3 Series to 4 Series for the coupes, and I said, I'm sorry. At the end of the day, they don't let me name the cars. But it was actually a marketing colleague, Michael Jobst, at BMWNA Marketing, who came up with the name Lime Rock Park Edition. But I took it to Skip and said, et cetera, and we made the deal.
Over the moon.
Oh yeah, it was fun. It was so much fun, and we worked something out with Skip where we could use the name to the track, and actually what's cool for me is behind the scenes. My counterpart at BMW M at the time is now my wife, so she helped us get those cars. It was going to be a Valencia orange car until everybody in the room convinced me that I was wrong. And in hindsight,
and you took it to the board.
Well, the local board at
sure.
NA, and then Christine, who's now my wife, was the M rep in the room at the same time, and they all wanted fire orange in the echo of the M3 GTS that had just gone out of production.
Right.
And I guess they were right. And that's one of my favorite errors. Things I've ever been wrong about in my life was it should have been fire from the beginning. But that's what it turned out to be. We had one in Valencia. It was a pre-pro model. I think Tom's still got it in South Carolina, and we flex painted it fire.
Yep.
And it was all over from there. Everybody who saw it just said that's what the Lime Rock Park Edition has to be.
Yeah, and it's still in the flex, he said.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because it was in good shape. I mean, we thought that the paint wouldn't last more than we had the time to shoot the car for, but they did a great job painting it. They painted the car in one day, and it was just.
Most people don't know what flex paint is.
Right. Yeah.
Flex paint.
It's a marketing trick. I mean, it's what you use to rapidly take a car that's one color and change it to something else for a shoot. It looks really good.
Flex paint. It's one color. Then you can basically. How do you mechanically hot water?
Yeah,
I mean,
it comes from the world of advertising. Sometimes they even call it peel paint, depending on how it's more like a latex almost, or it's like a wrap that you spray on, so to say. But it doesn't have the durability of a wrap. tabs. So you can basically rub it. If you touch it in the wrong way, it'll start to peel right off the car again, which is why they'll sometimes call it a peel paint. The flex paint job that they did on that particular pre-pro for the Lime Rock Park edition was just robust, enough that we can still, or they can still show the car.
They cared.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
somebody put some love into it.
Well, it was a big deal. I mean, it was the celebratory. Hey, E92 is going out of production.
It really was.
And let's celebrate the relationship between BMW and Lime Rock Park.
Yeah.
And I had no idea, but our good friend Scott Hughes, who is the founder of Club Racing, you know Scott.
Yeah, oh, very well. Yeah.
And so, do you know that his first driver's school, 1974,
was there
at Lime Rock?
So many people have that story. It's my story too. I my first time ever on a racetrack was in the back seat of an E39 M5 with Boris Said driving at Lime Rock Park. And I was never the same. They told me that when I got out of the car, I seemed different, and suddenly I've got to build a race car. I have to learn how to do this. I have to go to a school. Whatever it takes, whatever risk I have to take, I've got to get myself more of that.
And look at you now.
Yeah, well, now that's all ancient history now, But man, was it good for a few good years of just making friends and experiences and memories, and and I went all the way into Spec E30 Club racing with NASA and a little bit with BMW CCA, and had a great time, and great memories. Really, really fun stuff.
Well, I'm glad that you were there then to make that happen. We have loved those Lime Rocks since the day that they came out.
We had so much fun at Lime Rock with Bill and with Skip from building
the video.
Promo video. Yeah, that's one of my favorite memories.
See, I don't think a lot of people have seen that video today. They saw it back then.
Yes.
But they got the secondhand buyers of that car.
They don't know.
They've not seen that video.
Yeah, it's still out on YouTube. You can find it.
Tell them what to search for.
Well, I just do M3 Lime Rock Park Edition, and it comes right up. But you have to be looking for it.
Yeah, and it's about a 3 minute, 2.5, 3 minute video.
It might be even a touch long. Yeah, it's right in that neighborhood.
But Bill Oberlin is driving a E92 M3 Lime Rock Park Edition, and he's driving it the way that it was meant to be driven.
And I think
the track is meant to be driven at.
Yeah, and that's the flex painted pre-pro that he was using.
Oh, he was dog.
And then it's him and Skip, and they're walking around the track doing a track walk, and it's really a special memory for all of us.
Yeah. Well, you watch the video and you get it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was. I mean, you're.
Cool. That video was crucial, I think, to the car's success. If you look at the E92 M3's life cycle, it launched the minute before the recession really took hold.
Yes.
So its peak year was its very first introduction sales volume, so to say.
And that's usually the trend with most launch years. I mean, sometimes half of the cars are sold the first year.
Well, right. It's usually the first full year, though. This was like the half year. The launch year was its. So it had an early peak, and then it took a terrible dive, which was as everything did, and it has a unique life cycle in that its volume built back up to the very end, which was 13.
Yeah, and looking at the production numbers, you see that, and it does not follow the 46, the 36, or the 30.
It's a non-typical M3 life cycle. It really is.
Yeah.
And then the interesting thing about it was we had two really good bumps in it in the United States. One was 2011. The 1 Series M Coupe was so hard to get, it actually cleaned us out of M3 inventory because they were.
You couldn't get that. So what's the next?
Same payment. Basically, and the M3 is the icon. They were about the same payment with financial services, and so that was really cool in 2011. And then the Lime Rock Park Edition in 13 model year kind of had a similar stimulating effect for the end of the life cycle.
And 200 Lime Rocks built. Something I think, didn't you say like 38 had black wheels?
38 have a set of black wheels on them,
but it's not on the build sheet. There's nothing identifiably.
It should be on the Monroney sticker. Yeah, I thought so, but maybe you probably know better than I do.
I'm not. 50 some sold.
Right, you've seen more window stickers than I've ever seen. Yeah, I would have proofed the original one.
Well, they weren't made until the car was already a month old, right?
That's an interesting point. Yeah,
right.
But
they were made
true.
at Woodcliff.
The port. Yeah.
So, and they're not always accurate, to be fair.
Yeah.
So,
no. This we do our best because it's a legal document.
You're covering the warranty of all of what's covered, and that part's always straight.
No, that's true.
Option here, option there. We've seen that down to the lightweights because they used to have GT parts on the Monroney sticker,
right,
and so that had all the stuff. That car had to be under warranty.
Yeah.
But then they're like, if you buy all the GT parts, warranty's gone.
That's true. That's what the letter said.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and so
you got to talk to Winsberg about that.
I know. Is it? Well, we have.
Yeah, I know. My buddy. I love Eric. We have had some fun together.
He's a great guy.
One of my favorites.
Likewise. And so, getting to know guys like you and him and Ken Sparks and I mean, all these guys. I mean, you guys are like the BMW heroes in my book. I mean that sincerely. You guys did some really great stuff.
Wow.
Had a great time.
It's not a word I'm comfortable with, but I'll tell you what, the experience is. I'm so grateful. Just for but more than anything, the cars are the stars, but it's the friends that you make through and the people who just teach themselves how to be experts on these cars, right? And any hobby I've ever been involved with, I have to say that's my favorite thing is you meet people who there's always somebody who knows more.
Of course, and there's always a better car somewhere too.
Yeah, and it's just been a real honor to kind of serve a customer who's so fanatical for so many years. But,
Amen.
And that kind of leads me to my new gig, as a matter of fact. If you want me to plug it,
I do. And you beat me to it. I mean, this guy's at Alpina, and we're sitting in the back of a
B7. Yeah, B7.
It's not. It's got cooled seats. And
It
it's
does.
hot
And we're
out.
using them today.
Oh, it's really nice.
No sweat here. I'm good.
I'm like, hey, let's do a video, but let's sit in the back. And he's like, well, this is a driver's car. I'm like, no.
true.
Let's sit in the back.
No one's ever told me to or asked me to go sit in the back of a B7 before, but it isn't bad back here. I'm not hating it at all.
Yeah, we'll let Hans drive us around, right?
I can live with this.
Yeah.
I still want to drive. I do.
Fine.
Yeah.
I'll sit back here, but then we have to trade.
Yeah, they're fun. Yeah, it's only reasonable. It's only fair. Yeah, they're amazing.
The new Alpinas, are amazing machines.
Yeah, they are.
And
they always have been, right, for 54 years. I mean, that's the reason they've quietly and constantly just grown and grown and grown as a small company. 45 minutes west of Munich. It's really built in the owner's backyard. It's the founder and his two sons, and
Mom-and-pop shop.
Yeah, who are running the operation, and they have a fabulous relationship with BMW AG because they've always served them beautifully in the bigger company in a private development capacity. They have all these capabilities you don't really hear about: rapid prototyping, design development, all these other things, and it allows them to have this great relationship to build the 7 Series and the other models that they build for the rest of the world. And
which you should bring them to America.
Well,
you should bring them to
right,
the
yeah.
yeah, come on.
There's always discussion about it,
They're so sweet. All of those awesome models that Europe gets. We need those.
I was very lucky to drive a B3 GT3, one of 99 cars made here on Laguna Seca in 2013. And I got to see how that was like on the track. It was amazing.
Those cars, seeing them pop up on the market on the international searches and things.
Right.
They're very special cars, as is this one. But
yeah,
the market, I do think that the market here would be stronger than it is in Europe, as has M. Most M cars.
We don't want to put cars in the same place that M is, and these days there's a lot of M cars out there. So it's but I think it would be, it's much better partnership if we can find niches, or sometimes niches within a niche where you have a little bit of breathing room from each other, because the cars are all so, these days, everything is so it's great, finely developed, right, from a personality standpoint, a performance standpoint in the product. And the B6 Grand Coupe was a really good example in my eyes. It was a car I worked on both at BMWNA, and then we even have one here in the test drive program this weekend, even though the car's out of production now. And it's great because it allowed us a little bit of a science experiment. We made it mandatory all-wheel drive in North America at the same time that the F06 M6 Grand Coupe came out, and it allowed us a little bit of separation in the mission of the cars. And we wanted to see if we did an ultra-high performance car with mandatory all-wheel drive, how would it be received?
Yep.
Obviously not bad. You see the results. We didn't come up with the idea of an all-wheel drive M car, right? That's been around for many years. The idea has, and I guess it's been in production really since the 09 X5M and X6M when you think about it. But it was a good way for us to kind of separate the two products in the marketplace, and also just see what the demand would be from a BMWNA standpoint. Now on the Alpina side, my responsibilities are slightly different. Mostly what I do is dealer training and some special events like this. But it's a small enthusiastic bunch, and you just never know what other little niches we might be able to uncover with time. So it's all I can say is, I can't wait to see what the future brings, 2020 and beyond.
Well, and just to that point, I had no idea in parking the car that I would be running into you.
No, this is great.
It's like it's perfect timing because we were due for a phone call anyway.
That's true.
And an email, and so here we are doing this. And
I was hoping to bump into you guys. I heard that your party here went really well a couple nights ago. I wasn't in town yet, but I heard good things.
Dude, it was awesome.
Yeah, maybe next year.
A shout out to our customer that hosted us.
Oh yeah.
He bought a car from us this morning.
That's even better.
I hooked him up on it because I needed to pay it forward.
Yeah, sure.
And so he's got an M2 on his way.
Oh, good for him.
Bought it in his driveway this morning as I was washing the Sportivo.
Nice.
He said, I do think I want an M2. I said, well, I found one. Let me call the guy real quick. And so right there, boom, boom, boom. And boom, he said, all right, fine, we got it done. And
like Elvis, taking care of business in a flash.
Yeah, it's paid for. It'll be paid for tomorrow or Monday. And
yeah.
So he's got his car. So, but it's all about the relationships.
Yeah, it is. The whole business is. The whole industry is that way.
Agreed.
Yeah, and it's the best part.
Yeah. I get to meet all my heroes that...
Well, come over to Germany. Let's go drive some B7s on the Autobahn.
Stay tuned, because we're going to Germany soon to drive some B7s on the Autobahn, apparently.
My personal record so far is only about 300 kph on the Autobahn.
186.
Yeah, that's right, and it was enough for me at that time, that morning. But you know,
What
it's
were you
funny how
driving?
it was a B7 previous generations, an FO1 or 2.
All right.
And you know, you get in the mood to go back for more. This particular car we're sitting in goes what, 202, and the 2020 model goes 204. So there's a lot to be had.
Can we do that?
Yeah, I mean, thanks to Alpina's partnership with Michelin, you know that the tires are good for it.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And the car has been sorted. I mean, Alpina lives at Autobahn speed, so it's yeah, I think we should. It's not a could, it's a should.
It's a when.
Yeah, it's a win. Yes, it is.
Sorry, Evan. I have to go to Germany now. It's a work trip.
It's important, very important. Can't miss it. Business critical, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's got to be done.
So, hey, thanks for tuning in. There's a button down at the bottom that says subscribe. It's red. It's kind of an oval shape. Hit that button to subscribe for more. We got a bunch more cool stuff coming. I can't be in a better place at a better time to be in Monterey with cool friends.
This is fun.
I mean,
Fun.
if you guys have not been to Monterey Car Week, bucket list.
You got to do it.
Turn it to the top of the list, because this is a great... Is this your first time Monterey?
No, I've been away for about 3 years, and it's been killing me. So I'm just re-immersing myself in it. Yeah, it feels good to be back. Yeah.
So, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. See ya.
That was fun.
Whoa,
Yeah?
Okay.
Cool.
Well, this is fun. I mean, it's going to be fun.
It's going to be really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. We're at the right place.
We are. I mean,
We gotta turn the AC down because it makes a lot of noise.
That's right. We didn't take the heat. It's part of the business.
Take that.
We're good to go.
You good? All right.
You doing your product
Sweat-
placement?
sweat- I'm not sweating through.
I'm going to do my product placement.
Yeah, get
too.
it straight.
Yeah.
Is it straight?
I should
It's
be.
straight. All right.
Yeah. It's self-stabilizing. It's a special thing from Alpina.
It's counterweighted.
It's a new. Yeah, exactly.
Well, it should
it's on
be.
a bearing.
That's how the spherical
yeah,
emblems.
just
yeah.
like those. Yeah.